I am Neil Kapoor, a people development coach and consultant providing solutions to businesses in their people development strategy. I am a public speaker and an author of 3 books so far. Let me take you back to the days when you were in school. Do you recall one instruction from your teachers or your parents? I am sure all of us have heard it at one or the other time at home or in school. Why don't you listen to me? Whether it was a teacher or your mother or father, most of us would recall this one question. I am sure now our spouses ask the same question. Why don't you listen to me? But remember, listening is a skill which all of us learn over time on our own. But how much effort do you put into listening others? Let me share an incident and then let's see how good a listener you are. So you are a bus driver. When you start, you have a total of 60 passengers in your bus. Now listen carefully. 60 passengers. At the first stop, 18 passengers get off and 12 new passengers board the bus. At the next stop, 15 passengers get off and 19 passengers boarded. At the next stop, 10 passengers deboard the bus and 5 new passengers boarded. Okay? Right. Now, can you please tell me the age of the driver? I am sure most of you were busy calculating the number of stops, the number of passengers, while I was narrating the story. Isn't that right? How many of you listened to what I had said initially? The age of the driver is your age. Remember, when I started the story, I started off by telling you that you are the bus driver. If you got it right the first time before replaying this video again, then you are good at listening. If you had to replay it, you need to do some more working on your listening skills. The irony of the human nature is that we love to talk. However, we give very less importance to listening. We all have grown up thinking that listening is a skill we all possess. And therefore, we do not put in that extra effort so that we can listen well. So, do you hear or do you listen? Is there a difference between them? Yes, there is. Hearing happens to be just a subset of listening. Hearing is the act of perceiving any sound and receiving the sound waves or vibrations through your ear. Whereas when we talk about listening, it is the act of hearing a sound and comprehending as well what you hear. Listening requires concentration so that your brain processes the meaning out of what you just heard, the words and sentences that you hear. What is the meaning of it? While hearing, it simply happens. Let me tell you, listening well is a tough art. Alright? Listening well is important, but then why is it important? Listening helps you to communicate your attentiveness to others. It helps you in exchanging your thoughts with others and learning the viewpoint of others, as well as it inspires confidence in you as a speaker. Therefore, it aids in public speaking. While working with one of my clients, once there was an incident where I had to conduct personal coaching sessions for a manager. Now, there was an intense discussion which I was having with this manager regarding his dipping performance, and he kept sharing his inputs around how he has been trying different approaches. When suddenly during that discussion, I popped a question. You have tried so many approaches. How have you tried to gauge the reasons for failing in them? The manager, he started giving reasons regarding the different approach another one which he had taken to impact the performance. I asked him once again, patiently, have you evaluated what is the reason for your failure in the multiple approaches that you have taken? The conversation continued on similar lines, and after again a couple of pointers given by him around the different approaches that he was trying to implement, of course, which did not work, I again asked the manager, it is really wonderful that you have tried so many approaches, but did you analyze the reasons that it did not work? This time, the manager was listening, and something struck his mind. He said, I was so much involved in trying these different approaches that I did not dive in that data to determine the failure reasons. This is a classic example of what happens when you are in a discussion. You are so engrossed in what you want to say that you forget to listen to others. Sometimes forgetting to listen creates issues, and some really big issues due to improper listening, or rather even selective listening at times, when we hear only what we want to listen to and no more. There are many other aspects of listening which I will be covering in the upcoming webinar ACE, which can provide you with insights into different types of listening and how to improve these. A few of the tips that you can use to develop your listening skills, they can be: 1. Eye contact. When you are talking to someone while they are gazing at their mobile or at the computer screen, looking outside, or maybe running through some pages on the diary, this is like hitting a moving target. Maintaining the eye contact while having a conversation with someone is a basic ingredient of effective listening. There are instances when you are talking to someone who is interested in looking at a pretty face working in the next cubicle. How do you feel? That is exactly the feeling which you give to others when you talk, without having a proper eye contact. 2. Have an open mind. So one of the major things to do is, when you are listening to someone, just listen. What I mean by this is, stop judging or having self-talk, how to give a response or how to criticize the speaker. Isn't this what we most of the times do? The moment you get into this mode, you become an ineffective listener. Do not be a sentence grabber. Do you interrupt others' sentences and finish them on their behalf? This way, you are thinking at your wavelength rather than that of the speakers. Stop doing that. Stop jumping to conclusions before the speaker is done with the complete message. You do not know what are the thoughts and the feelings which are running in the mind of the speaker. He is yet to express those. And the only way you will find out about them is by listening. 3rd, stop interrupting. You have been taught in the school days that it is rude to interrupt. How much cue have you taken from it? When you interrupt someone, it conveys to the speaker that you want to tell them something. You know what? Hey, I don't really care about what you say. This isn't a discussion. It is a contest and I am going to win it. I am more important, okay? Don't do these. 4th, empathize. Do you feel the emotion that the speaker conveys to you? And you convey it back using your body language and the facial expressions as well as your words. This is empathy, the heart and soul of good listening. Put yourself in the speaker's place and then think. It's, of course, much easier said than done, and it takes a lot of effort. But believe me, it is going to be a big help to you and enhance the type of communication that you are having with that individual. Though there are many other things that you need to do in order to develop your active listening skills. So if you really want to develop your soft skills, you need to have two basic things in place. The first one is self-motivation. The reason why you want to develop a skill. This is something that you need to find out for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. Until and unless you have the self-motivation, you will not give the learning that attention which it deserves. And second is the discipline. It is really difficult to bring in discipline in your life without the self-motivation. But once you have it, then of course remember, the successful people are the ones who create a discipline and stick to it. You want to do something, but if you do not give it the required time, will you be able to develop it? Think about it. That is something that you will need to put in place for yourself. I, Neil Kapoor, offer coaching to help you, your friends or your teams to develop your skill set in order to help you unlock your potential. In case you want to get help in your development, you can connect with me with all the details which are mentioned. One of my favorite statements is, behavioral change is evolutionary, not revolutionary. So you need to give it the dedicated time and keep on making those consistent efforts so that change keeps on happening one over the other. You can build your skills using the stories from my book Corporate Anecdotes. A link to get this book is provided in the details section below. Thanks for watching this video. Press on the like button and share your learning from this video in the comments. Share this video with all your contacts. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay updated about the upcoming videos. Take care and all the best.